Things seem to press forward for NXT going into TakeOver 36 after a very tumultuous and noteworthy weekend, to say the least, for a lot of people on the black and gold brand. But after this show, with things pressing forward, we see NXT UK make an appearance, and we see the card just take shape for 36 coming in a couple of weeks. Things are moving forward, and we got to see what NXT has up their sleeve, and we gonna talk about it all. My name is Jordan Moser, and this is your NXT recap and review. We get a very fun back and forth matchup to kick off the show. Trey going up against Dakota Kai. We see as she replaces Ember Moon, who is not medically cleared to compete. I'll get to my theory on that a little bit later on. But yeah, very fun back and forth matchup. These two really brought the best out of each other just in terms of chemistry, in my opinion. We see near the end of this matchup, Trey hits a nice little shotgun drop kick to Dakota Kai, just laying prone in the second rope. I love to see that drop kick every single time. It looks beautiful. But she mistakenly goes for it a second time and she misses. That allows Dakota Kai to hit that nice little scissors kick and then pretty much is in control for the rest of the matchup. She eventually ends things off with a nice running pump kick in the corner for the 1-2-3 and the win for Dakota Kai. She gains momentum going into TakeOver 36 against Raquel Gonzalez, who was noticeably coming into the CWC mad and angry during the conclusion of this matchup. And we see as Dakota Kai goes to attack Trey afterwards, she is run off by the NXT Women's Champion, who proceeds to tell her she is going to rip her apart. And I am looking forward to this tremendously. Dakota Kai has been a revelation with the video package in this match here over the past couple of weeks, so she is really hitting her stride. I'm looking forward to TakeOver 36 and everything that brings from that NXT Women's Championship match. I honestly think they put Dakota Kai in this matchup because she needed that momentum boost, especially after losing to Ilia this past Monday on main event. She kind of needed to pick me up, so here we go. We got Dakota Kai just building momentum, and I love to see this feud really thriving in the space that it is. So this is good and a nice little way to kick off the show, of course. We have a very short squash match coming up after this. So we got Andre Chase being demolished by the $1 Million champion. LA Knight didn't really last very long. He hit a nice little headlock DDT driver for the win. And afterwards, Knight is in the ring with his butler, Cameron Grimes, and tries to humiliate him a little bit further, tells him to get down and shine his shoes. And this brings back the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. He's back in the CWC pretty much to console Cameron Grimes because the brother is struggling and he is sad. And $1 Million Man just tells him straight up, like, hey, you should be doing more than this, bro. I bet if you had another chance at that $1 Million championship, then you would be it. Like, you would be the man and you would be victorious. And the Knight was like, nah, bro, I already beat you twice, man. You can't really do anything about this. Like, I am the dog here. But you know what? I will give you another chance. I will let you have your opportunity to win this $1 Million championship if and only if, when LA Knight wins, then it's not Cameron Grimes as the butler anymore. It will be Ted DiBiase that is Mr. Knight's butler. And that is going to be a very interesting wrinkle in everything. But yes, $1 Million Man is a gambling man and he accepts the challenge. So it'll be Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight for the $1 Million championship at TakeOver 36. I am looking forward to this. They have built this pretty perfectly. I thought Cameron Grimes should have won the joint all along, but this is perfectly fine. He was as low as he can possibly get, and now he's here with this opportunity to make things right. And I am looking forward to TakeOver 36 in this matchup. I am loving it. I love the return of $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and yeah, this is pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to this, of course. Next up, we have a women's matchup, Gigi Dolan going up against Amari Miller. And yeah, very impressive performance for Gigi Dolan. She's the first time really giving her that spotlight to just kind of show what she can do, and she took advantage of it, of course. Very just one-sided matchup for the most part, as she eventually won with a nice little, Wade Barrett called it an abdominal stretch bomb. That's one way you could call it. I called it a snap roll-up when I saw it, but same difference. It got the 1-2-3 and the win over Miss Miller. Hope to see her a little bit more as well, as she kind of showed sparks of what she can do as well. But yeah, very nice little combination for Gigi Dolan. She was accompanied to the ring by JC Jane, so they're making her and Dolan kind of a featured part of NXT, probably going forward in this women's division, and I'm looking forward to it. They both got a good look. Jane's walk to the ring was a little weird, but I'm not going to front on it at the moment. There's time to learn how to walk, and stuff like that in those heels. But yeah, very impressive performance for Dolan, and we'll see where things kind of go forward from there. And next up, we had the face to face with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly going at it. We hear that it is announced that they are going to go 2 out of 3 falls at TakeOver 36. It is the undisputed finale between these two, the final matchup. We see Regal and Security presiding over things. Each of them gets to pick a stipulation for the match, and we see Kyle O'Reilly. He says, yo, the loss at Great American Bash, it ate with me. It ate me up inside. So we're going to go straight up for the first one. I'm all right, cool, that sounds about right. And then we see Adam Cole. He's like, bro, I've been proving that I've been better than you for 13 years, and you still do not get it. As far as I'm concerned, the second fall needs to be a street fight. And I'm like, all right, cool, this kind of sounds familiar. And as the two have dueling promos back and forth, Adam Cole definitely coming out on top. As much as I hate to say it, he demolished Kyle O'Reilly, frankly. And as they start to ball and get pulled apart a little bit, William Regal's like, bro, I can't take this no more. I knew it would come to this. This third fall, if necessary, is going to be a steel cage match. And I'm like, all right, where have I seen this before? Well, of course, we saw it 20 years ago, Stone Cold and Triple H in the exact same format. And then we saw it 2 years ago with another Adam Cole feud going up against Johnny Gargano at TakeOver Toronto with the same kind of stipulations as well. So, not that I'm saying that is going to be anything close to those matchups or anything like that, because I think it'll be somewhat good, but I also have this fear that it's going to be as contrived as that last matchup was at TakeOver Toronto. Didn't really rock with that a whole lot, but I'm looking for it. I want to see what they can do, but I don't want this to be another TakeOver stand and deliver matchup. I really don't want to see that. I don't need it to go 50 minutes. I need it to go like 30, 35 maybe. Like, don't overdo it. Don't do too much. That is all I'm asking. I know that's kind of the NXT kind of style of matchup or what they've been kind of trending towards. I don't need that. Go the other way. Please, please. So I'm looking forward to the matchup, but hopefully they don't overdo themselves. But yeah, very fun segment nonetheless. Adam Cole that's a good brother right there on the mic. He killing it. And next up, we have the first semifinal matchup in the NXT Breakout Tournament. Trey Baxter, who won last week, going up against the big man, Odyssey Jones. We do see a very cut and dry matchup. Odyssey Jones using that strength and that size to his advantage. Of course, Trey Baxter, who was moving like a dynamo last week, was stopped at every turn this week. He did not get anything. And he did get a little bit of shots in. He eventually chopped Jones down to one point. Eventually got a nice DDT on him for a 2 count, but yeah, his run did not last very long. We see he is eventually caught by Jones in a nice little pump handle, transition that into a Uranagi for the 1-2-3 and the win for Odyssey Jones. And he gets a nice little bit of promo time after the matchup just to show his excitement and go into the finals. Very awesome performance, I would say, for Jones. He is what he is, just a big man who can move around a little bit. Not too fast and not too explosive or anything like that, but he gets the job done. And so I'm looking forward to him going up, hopefully, against Duke Hudson in the finals. As much as I love Carmelo Hayes, Duke Hudson is a star. Like, please let those big boys go at it on the big stage, and I'm looking forward to that, of course. But yeah, very okay and very simple matchup what we had here for the NXT Breakout Tournament. Next up, we have a match with Drake Maverick going up against Boa, guys, freaking finally. Like, he might have wrestled before. I've never seen Boa wrestle a singles match or any type of matchup before. This is the first for me. And we see also another first. Mei Ying accompanied him to the ring, was standing at ringside, all out the chair and everything. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Matchup didn't last very long, but Boa did look impressive. Get a nice little couple kicks in, some nice shots in, a little in on Drake Maverick. He starts to take control a little bit later. Drake hits a nice senton on the outside to Boa, but as he's distracted on the outside, he turns to Mei Ying and she just blows smoke, literally, like out her mouth, like, and he is distracted, he is blinded and all that, and that's allowed Boa to get back in the ring, hits a nice roundhouse kick for the 1-2-3 and the win. Very impressive performance from Boa. This is the first time I have ever seen him do anything remotely close to wrestling. So this was a very good look on his part. And Mei Ying, the fact that she is getting out the chair and getting more into things. Where was Ilia? I don't know, but that's not important right now because Boa and Mei Ying are thriving. And I'm looking forward to see what they do in the next couple of weeks as things kind of move forward as well. So yeah, very, very nice stuff here. It wasn't long, but it was what it needed to be, of course. And last up in the night, we got our main event, Ilia Dragunov from NXT UK coming across the pond, and he's going up against Pete Dunne. This stemmed from earlier in the show when Dragunov came out and he was pretty much staking his claim for beating Walter for the NXT UK Championship at TakeOver 36 coming up, and Dunne was out like, bro, you owe me a thank you. Like, if it hadn't been for me, like, carrying Europe and European wrestling on my back, you wouldn't be here, bro. And Ilia was like, hey, bro, like, square up. Like, since you talking all this talk, I want to see if you have the will to fight, which brings us to our main event, a masterclass just in technical and striking prowess from these two men. It was very hard-hitting, as you would expect a matchup from these two to be. I don't think I've seen them go one-on-one before, so this was awesome to see. We see as Pete Dunne kind of took control a little bit early on with the nice little forearm. Dragunov begins to come back in the latter stages of this matchup just with that fighting spirit. He eventually hits a senton off the top rope, and as he is going for a torpedo Moscow, Walter, the NXT UK champion, he comes out on the ramp. Ilia is distracted. He's just like, come on, bro, let's fight. Let's do it right now. We ain't got to wait for TakeOver. This allows Pete Dunne to come and take control. He eventually hits that bitter end for the 1-2-3 and the win, just defeating Ilia Dragunov. And he allows Walter to get into the ring. He gives a little shrug and is like, hey, bro, go handle business, I guess. And Walter does try to go to work, but he is eventually reversed, and Ilia Dragunov hits a torpedo Moscow, knocks him clean out the ring, and then holds that NXT championship and just looks at it and stares at it and longs for it as the show goes off the air. A very excellent main event from these two. I don't expect nothing less at all from Ilia or Pete Dunne. They really are two of the best wrestlers that they have in WWE, if not in the world at this point. So this was just mad fun to watch, and everything kind of leading up to Ilia and Walter going at it at TakeOver in that rematch, very highly anticipated by me and others as well. So that is going to be fantastic. But yeah, very awesome stuff in a very lovely way to end this episode of NXT. All in all, very cool episode of NXT in-ring. I think it's one of the best episodes they've had in a minute here. So this was definitely a fantastic show to go ahead and watch. It just seamlessly worked its way through. I didn't really care for a lot of the backstage stuff. That didn't really bother to mention all the Indy and Dexter stuff with their backstage segments. I didn't really care for any of that. But the in-ring stuff on this show, whether it was squash matches or just other drawn-out matches, were very fantastic to that point. So definitely good on NXT. I'd love that everybody's kind of building momentum going into TakeOver 36, so I'm looking forward to all that. But yeah, very nice episode. That is going to be it from me. You will see more episodes throughout the week and videos on this channel. If you like what we do, like, share, subscribe, the whole nine. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your grandma, tell your grandpa, tell your friends who you don't even care about, but I hope you care about your friends. Tell your friends. But yeah, it's going to be it. I'm out. Peace. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your summer as it's coming to a close, and love everybody. I'll see you soon.